So in this section, let's do a deep dive on the role of Scrum Master and what does it do on a day-to-day basis as well as overall. So a Scrum Master, as it said, is a servant leader. He's a facilitator. The key role, of course, remains in helping continue deliver value and reduce the risk and adherence to the agile process to help the team become self-managed. So among the key expectation is agile is basically employing the concepts of lean, identifying activities those are not necessary and those which are of value. So removing barriers between the development and the customer so the customer can directly derive those items, those outputs that are valuable. Teaching the product owner how to maximize return on investment and meet their objective through Scrum. So a lot of time the product owner might not be aware of how to best produce value from the role and to get the best value of the Scrum team. So part of mentoring comes as a responsibility for the Scrum Master, and not only for the product owner but for the entire organization as required. Now, this is also a part of putting an effort in improving the lives of the team by facilitating creativity and empowerment to ensure the team is doing the best it can. And a lot of asking that basically would find ways to improve, how to remove impediments, how to improve the value that is produced by the team. So let's look at some of the things the Scrum Master is and is not. So he's not a project manager as in the traditional sense of the word. He's not managing the team. The team is actually managing itself, or at least in the beginning, though there might be some level of hand-holding, but the end objective is a self-managed team. Organizes its internal work, coordinates with the other teams and people as it may require, help the product owner making decisions and help with the schedule, etc. And removing impediments, as we said, is the key activity. Now, he doesn't have direct authority over the team. The team actually is empowered to make the decisions to produce the best results they intend. And it's also the role of the Scrum Master is to challenge, to help change the different part of the organization. So it's more like a change leader. But remember, just to limit within the limits, because it's no use to have a dead Scrum Master. In this next part, we're going to look at the different Scrum Master's checklist, the things he does on a day-to-day basis. So the first one is to ask the question like, how's my product doing? Now, the key things in that is you improve the product owner's efficiency by helping maintain the product backlog and the release plan. In the product backlog, prioritize according to his/her latest thinking. Are all the requirements and decrements from all shareholders for the product captured in the backlog? Is it in a manageable size? and maintain and manageable number of items. So basically, product backlog is one of the key health indicator of how a project is going. And though the product backlog is the key responsibility of the product owner, the job of the Scrum Master is to work hand in hand and ensuring that all the impediments are removed. The product owner is aware of the things that needs to be done. It's properly groomed in the right size of the task of the product backlog items rather, and it's prioritized according to the realities and the knowledge at the moment. And a lot of asking that basically would find ways to improve, how to remove impediments, how to improve the value that is produced by the team. Some of the other items that would be to check the health of the requirement, the user stories, if they are being done right, if they are following the standard story writing criterias, if the stakeholders are informed about the progress, how the release date would be achievable or not with the current velocity, and if the product owner is basically using the inputs from the existing iterations and updating the product backlog accordingly. In this next part, we're going to look at the first one is to ask the question like, how's my product doing? Also, they balance availability with the challenges, a sense of personal control over the situation and activity, and actively looking for getting things done. So they kind of get along together, they goof up together, celebrate each other's success. Do team members hold each other accountable at high standard? Are they comfortable enough to bring up awkward discussions, to deal with issues that can improve on the overall success? And and also, have you been trying all the different activity, changing the format of retrospective to make sure you're getting the optimal input from everyone? Also, have the team been focusing on the acceptance criteria, the done state? Does the sprint task reflect what they're actually doing? The team's task estimates are up to date and realistic? Are they getting towards being self-managed? Are the artifacts adequately protect them from the micromanagers in the organization? Do the team members volunteer for the task? Are the technical debt being repaid on a regular basis and not building up? Are team members checking their job titles out of the door so as there is a cohesive team that works together towards a joint success? And also the collective responsibility for things like testing, documentation, etc. And also importantly, are the management measuring the team on a collective success? How are our engineering practices doing? So on the technical side, things to look at is, do the system for development has a push to test button where anyone can quickly do a full test and see if anything is broken? Is there an appropriate balance between automated end-to-end testing and unit testing? How is the team doing in terms of writing tests for functional test and the unit test? Is there a similarity, or are they using the same language to do it? And have they identified the gray area between system test and unit test? Does the continuous integration server automatically inform when the tests are being done, and if no integration is being done, is it brought to everyone's notice, etc.? The team members, have they gotten into the practice of continuous doing refactoring as they build new features and continuously working towards a better system addressing the technical debts? Does the definition of done for each product functionality are being clearly defined and addressed? And also in terms of programming side, are the teams practicing best practices like pair programming, etc., to ensure the optimal use of their knowledge? And finally, how is the organization doing? So as an organization, there are certain things that needs to be done right. For example, if you have interconnected Scrum teams, you need to make sure that the Scrum of Scrum is happening and each of the team is aware of each other's activity and not falling over each other. The Scrum Masters also, even if not on interrelated project, needs to meet up to resolve organizational impediments, etc. And there's a need for ensuring that the something like a project management office or director's office basically has visibility on all the ongoing Scrum and how they're doing. Other than that, any other agile practices that are being done. Also about the career path and reward and recognition, there has to be some level of leveling off in between the different trades. So since in a Scrum team, it's a cross-functional team, and having a different reward system for programming from, let's say, documentation or testing can lead to a split, and this has to be addressed within the organizational's recognition and reward system. In addition, it's always good to focus towards having some level of recognition for the organization for its effort and creative activities, so that you can attract better talents to join your teams. In this next part, we're going to look at the different Scrum master's checklist, the things he does on a day-to-day basis. So that's about all for the tips and uh, checklist for a Scrum Master. There would be hundreds more, I'm sure. These are just some of them to keep in mind. And you can further check on the link as given below. Thank you very much.